fellas. This is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for this devotional. Today we're in Galatians chapter 5. I'm going to read verses 22 through 23, the fruit of the Spirit verses here. It reads, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law." So let's start by noticing what's easy to agree about regarding these verses. Let's agree that the term fruit is synonymous with the word produce, and that a produce is a production of something else. For example, when you walk through the produce aisle of your local grocery store, you're going to see fruits produced by a plant, like bananas and oranges and grapefruits and strawberries, etc. And each fruit is the result of the unseen activity of its respective plant or tree. So, in the same way, the Spirit in us produces fruit. It's one Spirit making all kinds of noticeable fruit in our lives. And as we are being led by this Spirit, the byproduct in our life is fruit. Right? But the critical part is the unseen work that's done by the Spirit that now lives in us, that unseen part. And in the surrounding verses, Paul tells us how to join with the Spirit to get these fruitful results. So number one, we got to walk by the Spirit, which means that we've got to be taking progressive action. Number two, we've got to be led by the Spirit, which means we've got to follow his lead. And number three, we got to keep in step with the Spirit. So we've got to be obedient one step at a time and nothing more. So here's the concept all put together into one thought. If you want the outcomes, produce or fruit or whatever you want to call it, of the Spirit, then don't worry so much about that fruit there. That list is just a list. It's byproducts. The fruit is the product of all the unseen work that's being done. What you need to be concerned about is taking progressive action by following the Spirit's lead, obeying one step at a time. And Jesus said it this way over in the book of John. He said, how we do this is by remaining in the vine, the activity of remaining. And as we actively remain in him and in the Spirit, then we produce all kinds of fruit, all kinds, not just one, but many, this whole list here. And that's the kind of fruitful production we all want. So give this some thought today. How are you taking progressive action by following the Spirit's lead and obeying one step at a time today? Think about that today. Stew on it a little bit. It'll require some reflection and some thoughtfulness. But take a step today with the Spirit. Just lean on him, not on yourself, not on your flesh and its desires. Fellas, I love you guys. Thanks for joining with me today. If you enjoyed it, share it with somebody else, please. And with that, I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.